Hello ladies and gents, welcome to a new Night POV review. In front of us is the new Renault Captur Facelift. This is the second generation. Now we have a new mild hybrid on test. Now if I unlock the car, you're going to see a little headlight stand, and we're going to see the performance on the new action camera. So I'm using once again Insta360 Ace Pro. You're going to see the performance of these on the road. Now inside is the 1.3 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine producing 160 horsepower. It's linked to 7-speed automatic dual clutch, front-wheel drive. We're sitting on I think it was 19-inch winter tires. It's pretty cold. Gonna hurry up to get into the car. This is called a red flame color. Looks gorgeous. Once again, if I lock the car and unlock it, you're gonna see there's this fade out when you lock it, or increasing brightness when you unlock it. If I turn on the headlights, you can see those. Cargo space is nice and spacious. There's one warm light there, so let's hurry up inside. It's kind of chill. Now there's a little greeting sound and animation. You can switch those off in the infotainment if you get bored of those. Now let's turn on the car. Now the petrol can be loud when it's cold. I've driven it, so it's now warm, not too loud. I'm gonna get some heating inside. I'm gonna lower the, actually I think the fan speed is gonna lower a little bit when the interior gets warm. Now interesting, we have heated steering wheel but no heated seats for some reason, as far as I've noticed. The good thing is the whole steering wheel is heated, not just parts of it. Now I really don't need heated steering wheel, so I'm just gonna turn it off. Now I did a little consumption test and I did mention it in the night review, so I'm just gonna show you here. Forgot to turn this off, sorry. Just to show you here what we have. We have Google, we have distance. We might flip this one later. You have the minimal display and you have the classical one. And with the arrows, you can switch here to trip computer. And my lowest fuel consumption, driving between 60 and 80 kilometers per hour, simulating open road, was 4.2. And on the highway, I went from Zagreb to Zadar. You can check 2 locations in Croatia. I went to the coast. It's all mixed terrain. My average was 6.5. So that's that. So this could be economical car if you're gentle. In the city, this will be a much higher if you're in heavy traffic, of course. And of course, as well, it depends on the driver and the driving style. Yeah, you have different views here as well. So that's the new 10-inch digital cockpit. Now just to play some music. So I have to mute this. It's domestic songs just past midnight, so that's usually the case. Let me see here. More music. Now, Harman Kardon, new sound system. You can have different sound. I think maybe immersion sounds the best, or the club. This is more bass. Okay, you can play with that, but the speakers, there's 9 of them, great speakers. There's an amplifier in the back on the right side, hidden. It's 410 watts, so that's also changed. The new infotainment is so much faster. There's driving modes here. We're gonna stay in the comfort, switch to sport. On the highway, you can see you have a different speedo then. I'm gonna keep it on the revs, so you can see that. Now we have my personal, what's it called? Google Assistant here, and you have the my Sense driving modes. And reverse camera here, decent resolution, but it could be sharper. But it serves purpose for parking. Let's head out. And I actually just came from Zadar, so I did a decent fuel consumption test. A little bit maybe. I got enough driving for today. Now it's a new night, but I'm fine. I'm not too tired, but we're gonna do this standard night point of view drive. I'm gonna summon all of my impressions for this car that I spent quite some time with. Yeah, 8-pillar, not a problem, but I saw that car was coming, but he turned into a parking lot, so it's fine. Okay, can lower this to like a full screen if you like that. Now, mild hybrid. This has a really small battery that you're charging when you're braking, and pay attention to the odometer. So you're gonna notice when I let go of the acceleration pedal or the gas pedal, it's just gonna drop to 0, and then on the right there's a little car coasting symbol. So this allows the car to spend less fuel, but this mild hybrid has an electric motor added to the petrol, and then it has an electric starter, so it helps it start fast and smooth and gives it a little bit juice when you're starting. So we have nice and smooth transitions, and it just lets you save on fuel when you are letting go. It's just coasting, and the more you coast, the less fuel you burn, and then your consumption comes down. It's actually quite warm here, so I'm just gonna maybe lower the AC a little bit. Now, Renault says they've increased the comfort of the suspension. It was already a comfortable car, but honestly, I can't say that I've noticed it's more comfortable, but they say it should be more dynamic because of the new suspension, more precise perhaps. It does have different settings for the steering comfort in sport mode, or if you want to go to personal, then you can customize all the settings for the car. The new sound you've heard, so if I drop under 50 and then I speed up above 50, there's going to be that sound, a little chim there, and it notifies you that you've passed the speed limit. So that's the new European regulation. So all cars that are new in Europe have to have this. Now you can disable it here. I've showed you that in the review. Press twice. You're just gonna notice that the yellow light goes off. So that's that. Now this area still is kind of a blind spot. They've redesigned these. They're kind of slimmer. You have this here, so not huge obstruction, the A-pillar, and you have the blind spot warning in the mirrors, but generally there's a good overview in this car. On the back you can see in the mirror as well. It's fairly easy for parking, so not a problem. And what I do like about this car, when you are backing out of a parking spot, there is a camera that detects other cars and it notifies you with a sound and with a like an arrow from which direction the traffic's coming in your reverse camera. Now, 160 horsepower, 4-cylinder. For those of you who are, not a huge fan of 3 cylinders, you're going to be happy. Now, this petrol is not too loud, but it has this kind of weird resonating sound from the pot in the back, from the exhaust system, honestly. But I guess I just got too much used to the sound of the 3-cylinder by now. There's so many cars with a 3-cylinder instead of the 4-cylinder, but that's really not something to be concerned of, just something that I noticed sound-wise. Now, the real change in this car for the users is going to be, besides the new badge that's looking maybe even nicer than the old one, is the new digital cockpit. It is quite nice addition. You have the Google Maps, you have trip computer here, so very nice, fresh up. Here you can see the distance, the lane. You know, it's nice and informative. It's not too busy, but it has all the good stuff, and it looks nice. This one also works great. It's nice and fast. You can now download apps as well. So if you go here, for example, you can see all the pre-installed apps. Now, when you're stationary, you can go to Play Store, or the Google Play Store to be exact, and you can download apps like Waze. Now, you have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. I didn't connect it because I wanted to show you this new infotainment. But when you are using those, and you're using, for example, Waze, because you already have a Google Map built in, you don't need it. When you're using Waze, it's burning your juice, battery juice fast. So in this case, it's better to just download a native app for this Android infotainment and use it on the car, in the car, so it's a full screen. You don't have to, drain your battery from your smartphone. So a huge upgrade with the new infotainment. Just very big update, if I might add, comparing to the previous generation. The system looks very familiar. Now, they've reoriented the buttons. I think there were touch buttons before. Now you have physical buttons to turn off the infotainment and for the volume. Now, my girlfriend has commented that this is really not a practical position, because this is supposed to be for the passenger on the front seat. So they could have added it maybe to the side. That would be maybe smarter, even easier to reach, not just for the front passenger, but even for the driver, because you don't have to fully extend. I have a long hand, but for some people this is going to be far. It's just, maybe more practical if it's on the side and you have the plus and minus just on your smartphone. So yeah, that's a little idea there for Renault engineers, perhaps. So that is that. Now, 7-speed automatic, if I'm being 100% honest, it's for the most part good, and you don't feel the transitions when you're driving, gently. But I did come upon few occasions where I was just maybe too gentle with the gas pedal, and then the car started jerking in a sense of, just slightly starting to jump, and couldn't decide in which speed he wanted to be. It was, I guess, too slow for it, and it did handle it in the end. It just decided, oh, I want this gear. But on few occasions, it was a little bit what I called dumb. But otherwise, it's pretty good. Nothing to be concerned about. This is just smaller detail I've noticed when I was going uphill or downhill. It's very similar to the, Germans or Volkswagen Group DSG. So, it's a good automatic, but I would say Mazda, for example, has a really good automatic. It's smart automatic, so it's slightly better than this, but for a general user, this is great. So you have no worries about that. Now, I'm gonna hit this manhole. Yeah, suspension is quite soft. I'm not gonna hit this one. This was really deep. This is okay. I felt that one a little bit better, but the suspension is nice and comfy. It feels great. The car is also very confident, even in the bends. Not too much leaning. It's tall, but not too tall, and it's pretty stable. Now, I didn't drive it savage fast, but you know, a little bit faster in the bends. It's pretty solid. Now, when it comes to interior, I can't remember if the pre-facelift had ambient light on the dash. I think it didn't, but it's just a little odd that it's only on the doors and only on the front doors, nothing on the back. As you can see, maybe if they added a little shadow here, perhaps it wouldn't hurt. This is just, you know, talking about the interior. But otherwise, the interior is pretty nice. They did padded the middle bridge here around the shift for the gears and so on. Now, if I'm nitpicking, this only illuminates to show you reverse, neutral, and drive, but it doesn't illuminate one of the letters in which position the gear shifter is, but you still see it in the main display, so maybe not a huge deal. Now, we're coming to the highway, and I've said we're going to switch to the sport. You get this sport gauge then, it looks bit better. Now I'm going to switch back to the odometer. Focus on the LED headlights performance as well now. It's pulling nicely, very nice. And in the sport, you really feel the power of the car, and the comfort is just very gentle. Now, it's very good soundproofed as well for a compact SUV. At least up to the speed limits. I'm just gonna speed up a little bit to show you the performance. Back to comfort. Now on the top, if you have kids, you can put a minimal display, so less glare on the back seats, or you can put to standby and have a clock. So that is that. Just press on the top, the power button, it comes back on. Now, one of the really great features is the adaptive cruise control. Now, it works pretty solid. It's going to keep you in the lane, so if I switch the view to, not this one, but this one, you can see the car or the van in front of us. Now, you can play with the distance like that. The car will automatically brake, keep distance, and keep you in the lane. Now, it was a holiday just 2 days ago, All Saints, so there is quite some traffic considering it's past midnight. Now we're going to come back to the city and get outside the streetlight zone to see the performance of the headlights. But I was really, after driving it a little bit, pleasantly surprised how efficient this petrol can be. It's not a large car, or large SUV. It's a small compact SUV or CUV, but really good on fuel consumption. Not bad at all. Even you can see now, okay, the car is actually braking now, but it is actually, you know, what I've tested so far, quite fuel efficient. Now there's a lot of fast cars in the background, so I'm just gonna stay behind this truck or semi, whatever you call it in your part of the world, because there's gonna be an exit. Actually, I do have an opening now, so oh, he decided to exit here, so I'm not gonna stay in this lane. And this is gonna disable the smart cruise control. There's the adaptive cruise control, and there is the speed limiter. You can turn it all off, or the active assist. Now, what I've noticed, even when I switch everything off, the car will still pay attention to the fact are you in the lane or you're getting close to the edge, and it's going to try correcting you. Just blasted the full beam now. Then I realized there's a van, so I turned it off. Yeah, no matrix headlights. You'll have to go for the Austral, although it's also very close price-wise. This top spec is around 30,000 euros with an eSpritAlpine trim, the sport trim. But the headlights are okay. I mean, it would be really nice if they added matrix, of course, but you only have the automatic long beam. Now, ignore the speed limit. It's just picked up wrong speed limit. It's not correct. But fuel consumption, you can see we're actually really good considering we speed up a little bit on the highway. 5.3, you know, really good fuel consumption altogether. Now, I was saying there's this, below the speed, there's this car with 2 lanes. If it goes yellow, that means it's going to start correcting you. And it thinks, you know, you're going to leave the lane. And sometimes when you're close to the edge, it's just going to keep you. And even if you play with the infotainment for a moment and come to the edge, it will try to intervene. See? Although I was just corrected it in time, it intervened. And on a few occasions I've noticed maybe it was not necessary, but it does intervene, and it's going to give you a little resistance, so try not to get surprised by that. It wasn't too unpleasant, but it does happen. But few occasions I was like driving in a bend, just trying to change the radio station, and I've realized I slightly came to the edge of the lane, and it kept me, and I just felt the resistance. So I, you know, it feels safe when it does, you know, in that way correct you, and you know, in case you just slightly get distracted, it'll be there. So I think for time of using this car, you're gonna get used to it. Great thing is the auto hold, very practical. Renault has this, for example, Citroën, Peugeot, or the Stellantis group doesn't, which is really odd. I'm not sure why they didn't add that. This is a must feature on the automatic, if you ask me. Now I'm gonna skip to the part where there's no street lights, just to save time, so this video isn't too long. I'm not gonna do 0 to 100. It's not that fast, so we're gonna skip that. So we're close to the river, as you can see on the map. So slight fog, but not too heavy as the night we had the MG on test. I'm not gonna go all the way over there, so I think this is fine here. Just standard beam and then full beam. So when you hold it, it does raise up a little bit. You can see further, and it's You can see it just dropped a little bit. So very good and very solid. So you can see also the camera in dark when backing up, also very nice, and serves its purpose. Okay, I'm thinking now maybe there's no traffic, do the 0 to 100. Although, yeah, I was just like thinking it's not that fast. I think it's around 8 point something. So let me see here, Eco Sport. Disable the auto start stop, and let's just stop here. So no traffic in front or on the back. Hold the brake, throttle all the way, and let go. It's just a risk of ice because of the temperature. It's really pulling nicely. And slow down. Okay. Honestly, that was better than I've expected it to go. And it didn't spike the fuel consumption too much. So, yeah, altogether, very agile and impressive petrol. And it wasn't too loud. I'm saying this, this is a good thing. I mean, petrols are, compared to diesel, not too loud in general. But I think they've dampened the interior sound as well, so there's less noise and vibrations coming into the cabin from the petrol engine, even, so you feel it less on the steering wheel. There's less vibrations coming to the driver in that case. I want to show you the navigation, so let's see here. Navigate to Avenue Mall Garage.
Navigating to Avenue Mall Garage.
Wow, that was fast. I mean, it's Google, of course, but that is the fastest I've got in recent test car. So that is great. Let me show you the, of course, the navigation in front of you. Now, if I remove the trip computer, of course, you can see that slightly better. So this one's wider. Sometimes you can see additional information or a different road if you're planning to turn. This one's more narrow. I'm fine with this. This was like original Tesla design, but maybe tell me in the comments, do you think they should have switched to the horizontal instead of vertical display on the new generation, perhaps? But then again, you have both to choose. So this could be like music or something like that. So you have the display in the front, of course, but you can choose which one you like. So Google is very up to date, so they've added this speeding camera that's recently added here as well. That's a nice detail here. So yeah, generally very impressive new infotainment and huge upgrade. Again, then the new mild hybrid is very fuel efficient, and altogether I would say this is a great improvement to the Captur. Now this eSpritAlpine might be slightly pricey. If you go for the entry trims, you might get it a little bit less of a price, but if I'm not mistaken, the Austral is just a little bit more expensive, and then you're getting a serious SUV, more space, you're getting the Matrix headlights, and well, it does have the new infotainment, and the digital cockpit's a little bit different dash, of course, but the new Captur is really not that bad. Now, for those of you who are from UK, I've asked, I'm not sure about the tall infotainment, that you're gonna get one. So I'm sorry, it's just nothing I can do here. But it is great. So you're gonna be missing a lot. But I can imagine the new infotainment, even with a shorter screen, will be actually quite great because it's nice and fast. The new Google infotainment is, or the Android is really great. And what else? Yeah, overall, a great improvement. I will have a hybrid version of the new Captur facelift, so maybe in a month, or I think so, in December. So do stay tuned for that. Do subscribe to the channel and click the bell to get notified when I upload more videos. So I should be getting the hybrid as well. I should have got it earlier, but I was just unavailable at the date that was free. So I rebooked it later. I'm curious to see the fuel consumption with that one. Although I'm not sure if I did drive it on the press conference, and I think it was like 5 liters in an open road as well, but I forgot now. It might have been this car, so that's why I'm not 100% sure. Now, one thing, the Captur was the bigger brother of the new Clio, and I am slightly disappointed. And I've asked, why they didn't add this new infotainment to the new Clio? And their reason, their answer was, they think it's fine. I disagree, and I think that the Clio will just probably get a new generation faster than we were expecting. So that's that. Let's just take another peek at our fuel consumption. 5.3. So considering that I did a 0 to 100, driving on the highway a little bit, and we started around 4, that's still a very solid fuel consumption. So I got 4.2. I was really driving gently on open road, but this is like a little bit of traffic, so expect maybe 6 or more in traffic. But I've told you, if you're really gentle, around 4 is the lowest, at least mine was. And if you are on the highway mixed terrain, I got 6.5. But again, it all depends on the driving style. That is that. Do check the day review if you haven't seen that video. If you're here for the first time, it's very nice and detailed. I've covered everything about the car and the infotainment. And I hope to see you in the next video. Let's get out. And okay, one thing maybe on the whole car. Okay, the hand thing you grab here, it's just starting to make some sounds. Otherwise, the car is great. And they still haven't improved one thing that I did comment on the pre-facelift, and that's maybe the closing sound of the doors on the back, kind of shallow sound. But otherwise, really great compact SUV. Once again, oh wait, did I think I did turn it off. Wanted to turn on the headlights for you. Does this dance? And yeah, headlights on. So just in the garage, it'll walk around a different light. With the new action camera, this one has a bigger sensor, so you should be seeing a lot better picture compared to the really now completely non-competitive GoPro cameras. Probably all reviewers are using now. But that's that. This is the new Ace. Well, not anymore new. Ace Pro. There's an Ace Pro 2. I might get it in the future, but this camera is really a huge difference in night picture quality. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you next one. Bye.